everybody, I'm Tom Vasel. Welcome to Week in Review. Week in Review is where we go back and tell you all the reviews we did over the past week and what we think of them. And then if you want to see the full review, all you got to do is click one of the links in the description below. Let's get started.
Hey everybody, Zhi Garcia here. So last week I reviewed three things. I reviewed Sierra West, which I rate a 7.5 out of 10. It's a pretty standard Euro game in its trappings, but what makes it this high for me is it's got some cool, clever mechanisms that are interesting, and it's got a lot of replayability in the box. There are 4 modules that you can choose to play with, always just one. You can never combine them. And they change some of the aspects of the game, how you score points, the kind of things you are going to be pursuing. It's also got a great solitaire mode that I really enjoyed. I reviewed Tricky Tides. I also rate this a 7.5 out of 10. This is a pick up and deliver game with trick taking as the main mechanism in which you do those things. It's got a fantastic look, really high quality cards, and it's kind of breezy. I like the way it flows. It's interesting. It's got some cool thematic ties to it. Really enjoyed this. It's also not very long for a trick-taking game, so I like that. And then I reviewed the expansion to Detective L.A. Crimes, which I rate an 8 out of 10. It's got a really cool theme. It puts you in the shoes of like a cop in L.A. in the 80s, and that really comes through well. And I just enjoyed it. It's also 3 cases long, which I found it to be a punchy adventure. You can break them up, those 3 chapters, but the whole thing tells you a unified story, and I liked it a lot. So L.A. Crimes, thumbs up from me. And that's it. Thanks for checking this out, everybody. I'll see you on the next one.
Hey folks, welcome back to another Week in Review. Was part of 4 different videos this week that were put up. First of all, there was a Miami Dice for Time Stories, the final review. And of course, Tom, Z, and I talked about our feelings about all 9 modules that makes up the game Time Stories. And I ended up overall giving that a 7 out of 10. I did enjoy it. Overall, some various disappointments along the way. You can check out the video to get the full rundown there. Also did a review last week for Warhammer 40K Speed Freaks. Now this is kind of a demolition derby, kind of post-apocalyptic type of game where you're taking these vehicles, war trucks and war bikes and stuff like that, and you're battling against your opponent, or you might be racing while battling. There's a number of different ways you can play it, but it's pretty fun, and the models are amazing. You can check that out. I gave that one a 7 out of 10 as well. And then I also did another review with my son Aedan. We did a review for Slide Quests. I gave this one an 8 out of 10. I believe he gave it a 15 out of 10. So definitely get approved, and then definite seal of approval from me. And then I also did a first impressions video for the, 2 of the games that we played on Testing Tuesday. The first one was Conspiracy, the Solomon Gambit, and Master of Respect. And so you can check out that video for my first impressions on both of those. But that's it from me. Thanks for joining us. Let's get back to the rest of your review.
Okay, so for me, first of all, I took a look at Among Thieves. Among Thieves is a game where you're all working together trying to blackmail things, and it has like some good ideas in it, but ultimately felt too lucky and not very it just didn't feel as thematic as I wanted it to. Batera Gardens, really cool looking game, loved the idea of it, but also had some luck to it and felt too restrictive for how small the game was. Arrass, this is a quick turnover cards and match stuff. It's okay. There's just so many games out there that this one is a little forgettable. Tour Operator, this one was so close to me saying get it, but I can't really. I love the theming of it. I love the idea of taking people, being having my own travel agency and people on planes and getting them in hotels. Great theming and all. Just a little too lucky and a little too fiddly at the end. No Swap, No Pay. This is a kind of a pirate game where you're passing bags around and stealing coins from each other. Kind of a take that game for families, but with nice components and one that works and doesn't outstay its welcome, being nice and short. Kushi Express is another one where you're just sticking skewers through these different vegetables and wrapping them in bacon and cheese. It's kind of a dexterity game. Well, not kind of. It is a dexterity game, but it's a fast, fun one. It feels a little different than the rest. Bon, B-O-N, Boast or Nothing, a trick-taking game where the trump color changes every round. I like the concept, and it plays pretty well. Circle the Wagons is a little wallet game. I enjoyed this one a lot, if only because it plays 2 players. It's a 2-player game, and it plays so quickly. It's small, easily portable. It's one of the first wallet games I played, and I'm really liking the concept. Then we have Tiki. This is a 2-player abstract strategy game in which you are moving tikis around trying to get pineapples, but knowing when to move and when to jump on someone else. It's a small game but feels bigger than it is. The great components doesn't hurt everything. I took a look at the new version of 10 Days in the USA, the fantastic artwork, this upgraded version of the Aaron Weisblum game that's kind of like Racco. It's a fantastic gateway-style game, and this version is pretty. Speaking of pretty, Cupcake Empire. Building your own Cupcake Empire. A fast engine-building game. I mean, it really just keeps moving. It's an entertaining game. Again, it doesn't hurt that I like the theming of it, but very impressed with this one. Valley of the Kings Deluxe Edition. Coming out of Gen Con, taking this small deck builder, making it bigger, putting all 3 versions together. Beautiful cards, upgraded Pharaoh things. Just a fantastic version of this fantastic game. And then Massive Respect. This one came out of nowhere. Really like this game in which you are combining, you're a master training some apprentices and sending them out on tasks. And it's a kind of an action game, but you're mixing an action with it, modifying a little bit, following other people's action. Just great across the board. Speaking of Master Respect, you can see us playing that and Conspiracy. We played both of those on our Testing Tuesday live. We did a live board game breakfast and a talk back on Friday talking about Dice Tower Con, which is this week. Yeah! Anyway, that's all the stuff we did last week. This has been Week in Review. I'm Tom Vasel. Thanks for watching The Dice Tower.